highly recommend that if anyone has not yet worked with Carrie Marie, that they get to that as quickly as possible. And I promise that you will always walk away feeling better in some regard. And sometimes you can't even predict how that's going to go in your mind.
Let's get up on our feet. Carrie Marie Vaughn is one of the best coaches in teaching you how to feel better, how to ignite your light, how to nourish your soul, and how to find your defined purpose. Let's get on our feet. Let's bring to the stage Carrie Marie Vaughn.
Hey. Good morning and happy Friday. Oh my goodness, excited to be here today. It is the 4th episode already of Rise and Thrive Live with Carrie Marie. And today we're going to be talking about taking back your time, how to make space for what you love. Oh, isn't that exciting? Doesn't that excite you? So as you are hopping on, be sure to say hello in the comments. Be sure to let me know where you are watching from. Also, let me know what your word of the day is. What is a word to describe your day today? So I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like there's never enough time to do the things you want to do? I can relate to that, right? Do you ever feel like there's never enough time? If you can relate, drop a yes in the comments. And I'm sure we're going to see lots of yeses here because this is such a common thing. I feel like every client that I have ever worked with and any mom that I've ever talked to has always felt like there is never enough time in the day to do everything, let alone the things that they want to do and that you love to do. So be sure to drop a yes in the comments if you can relate to that. And so in today's episode, and can you even believe it? I just can't believe we're in episode 4 already. So if you haven't already watched episodes 1 through 3, feel free to just do a quick search for Rise and Thrive Live and you will find it. And today I'm going to be talking about how to take back your time, make space for what really matters to you. And just as a reminder, I do go live every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern to help you to reset, to help you to grow, and to help you to thrive. So be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. So think about this. We all have the same 24 hours in our day, right? Every single person, no matter what your background is, no matter what you love to do, no matter how experienced in different areas of life you are, no matter how successful you think you are, it doesn't matter. Every single person gets the same 24 hours a day. But why then does it feel like sometimes there's just never enough time? Some people seem to have all the time in the world, and some people never have enough time. Why is that? So we're going to dive into this a little bit more today. And, between work and family and responsibilities, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and stuck in just like the cycle of being busy without actually getting anywhere and without actually being able to do the things that we love. And so I want to help you with that. That's what I'm here for. But the truth is that making time for what you love is actually essential. It's essential to your happiness. It's essential to your well-being, because you know what? You probably know when you're not doing the things that you love, you're probably not very happy, right? You're pretty miserable when you're not doing the things that you love. If you're always just on the grind and doing the things that you dislike doing, you're going to be grumpy. I know, at least I am. If I start going through the day and I'm doing all the things that I don't like doing, I'm like, okay, time to reset. I need to do the things that I love. So taking back your time it's really just about being intentional about what you're doing with your time and making choices. You actually have more power than you might think. You can make choices that align with your values and that align with the things that you love. So we're going to be talking about 4 different strategies today to start making time for what you love. Who's excited? Drop a comment if you are excited. Say, I'm excited. Woohoo. I want to hear how excited you are. And actually, before we dive into this, before you get excited over what we're going to be hearing, I want you to just think about your life. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you dedicating your time in a day to doing the things that you love? 1 being, I don't do anything that I love at all. Every single day I'm doing things that I dislike. And 10 being all day, every day, I am always doing things that I love. So where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? Because it's good to rate yourself and to kind of get a gauge for where you're even starting from. So that way you can kind of get a gauge after you start making improvements and see now where are you on that scale of 1 to 10. So right off the bat in your life, right this very moment on a daily schedule, with 1 being I don't take any time for myself, and 10 being I take all the time in the world. I am so happy every single day because I'm always doing what I love. All right, so give yourself a rating on that scale of 1 to 10. All right, here we are. So now we're going to get to dive into the 4 strategies. So the very first one, and this is the hardest, I think, anyway, it was the hardest for me when I started implementing these things, is setting clear boundaries. Saying no sometimes, saying no to the things that just don't align with your goals and with what brings you joy and with what your values are. It's okay to say no. Even if you are a people pleaser, I am a recovering people pleaser, let me tell you. And sometimes I do revert back on accident. We're all human, right? So it's okay. If you're a people pleaser, feel free to say, yeah, it's me. I'm a people pleaser, but that's okay because you can change. In the past, I was a people pleaser. I no longer am. I can say no and feel comfortable saying no because I know that not everything that is brought to me, not everything that's asked of me is going to align with my values. It's not always going to bring me joy. And sometimes it may be something that sounds good on the surface, but on the other hand, if you don't have, if it doesn't really fit right with how you want your day to look, it's still okay to say no. Give it a rain check, whatever it may be. Okay. Keep this in mind. Setting those boundaries is so important. And, setting boundaries with your close, immediate friends and family, coworkers, business partners, whatever it is, setting boundaries with them is going to be the hardest, but actually that's where you need to start. Because those are the people who usually have more of your time and take more of your time. So start with them. All right. So I know this is going to be hard, but drop a comment, setting boundaries. I want to make sure you understand that that's going to be a huge thing for you to start taking time for the things you love. You have to start setting boundaries first. Okay. So drop the comment, setting boundaries. All right, here we go. Strategy number 2 is to schedule your passions into your calendar just like any other appointment or important task. Ooh, this is actually fun, right? This is a fun one. So you get to actually block off your time, like look at your weeks ahead and be like, okay, where can I schedule in time for things that I am passionate about, things that bring me joy? Okay, so you're probably used to scheduling in doctor's appointments or other things like that, or scheduling for other people, your family members, or maybe that's something that you do for somebody else where you're scheduling everybody else in, you're scheduling all these other appointments in. So now comes the fun part. Now you get to schedule in time for you to do the things that you love and prioritize it. Just like everything else on your calendar. Make it a pretty color if you want. Make sure you set reminders so that you don't forget, and don't let anyone take over that time. That is your time. That is precious time. Prioritize it. Okay. It may be a little tricky at first if you are not used to doing this, but you know what? The more you do it, the more you'll get into the habit of it. And guess what? You're going to start to notice that, wow, I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more joyful because I'm doing the things I love and I'm prioritizing it. It's going to feel awesome. Let me tell you, it's amazing. Oh, it just makes me so happy. Okay, so I want you to put in the comments, schedule time for my passions or schedule time for my joy. However you want to word it, however it sounds best to you, however it resonates best with you, schedule time in for your passions or schedule time in for your joy. I want you to make sure you put that in the comments and then go do it. All right. Ooh, so exciting. All right, here we go. Strategy number 3, delegate. Delegate where you can. Okay, so to free up some of your time that you may be spending doing things that you don't really love, see if you can delegate to other people. Maybe ask family members or friends to help out a little bit. Maybe it is letting go of doing some of the things that are really not doing anything for you. Maybe it's the scrolling on social media. A lot of people I bet can can say that they do a little bit too much of that. So where can you delegate things to other people or cut back on things that are not actually bringing you joy or that are taking time away from doing the things that are meaningful to you? Okay. And so this is, this might be a little tricky because now you need to ask people. Maybe you need to ask your spouse or your kids or a friend or a relative to help you out a little bit. Hey, can you take so-and-so to practice for me? Or, hey, can you pick up a few groceries for me while you're out? Because I know you're going to be out at the store. That way it will save me a trip out. I know it's tough to ask, especially if you are one of those people like I have been, where you are like, I can do it all. And you just try to take it all on, and it's really hard for you to delegate. I know for me, it was so hard that this is almost just as bad for me as setting the boundaries, because I like things done a certain way. And so it was very hard for me to learn to delegate to other people. But then the more I started doing it, the more I realized, this isn't so bad. And it started out with just asking my kids when they were living home. Now I'm an empty nester, so things have shifted a little bit. But it started out for me, the first thing that I did was asking my kids to help plan and cook dinner a few nights a week. So I basically just assigned them a day. This is your day to plan out dinner, make sure that we have the ingredients ahead of time. So you have to plan it in advance. So when we do our grocery shopping for the week, you get the ingredients we need. So put it on the list. And then you're in charge of cooking that night. And it was hard at first because, I wanted to like do my thing, but no, I let them do it. And it was so cool. And it was actually so freeing. And so that was where it started. And it has come a long way since then. And my kids were younger then, and now they're old. And the cool thing is guess what? They each can cook meals in their own home. So they were learning a good thing, and it was helping me to learn to delegate to other people. So go ahead and pop in the comments, delegate or get rid of tasks that drain me. All of those things, get rid of them. Delegate to other people or just get rid of them entirely. All right. Or you can even limit yourself. Okay. So maybe you like to do a little scrolling on social media, but if it lasts for hours, it's a waste of time. So set yourself up with a timer. Okay. And last but not least, strategy number 4 is to simplify your commitments. Okay. So simplify. So focus on what truly energizes you and let go of the rest. So just simplify what you are committed to. Take a peek at what all you are doing in your life, all of the things that you have signed up to do or that you've put on your own plate, this never-ending to-do list, and take a peek and be like, what? I need to simplify things. I'm just going to take some of these off. I might tell somebody that, I'm sorry, I can no longer help out with this for the time being because I'm really trying to simplify my life right now. Maybe sometime in the future it will align with my values, but right now is just not the right time. Feel free to do that. I know it's hard because you're such a giver. I know it. I am that person too. I have been in the past, but I also know that as a giver, it can also drain you if you are not aware of where your time is going and you're not scheduling time to do the things that are important to you. And so the more you can start prioritizing time to do the things that you love and that bring you joy, the more that you're going to notice that during the other hours of the day, you're actually more productive and you can get more done. So then maybe you can start taking on some of these other projects again, but you have to get used to being able to delegate. You have to get used to being able to prioritize things that are important to you and bringing you joy. You have to learn how to simplify things and set clear boundaries. Okay, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to be very good at signing up for helping out people because you're not going to be very productive during that time. And you're not going to be a very happy person when you are spreading yourself far too thin. Okay, so just keep these things in mind. So out of these 4 things that I schedule, oh, and actually, I forgot to mention, go ahead and pop in the comments, simplify my commitments. Simplify my commitments. Okay. So now out of these 4 things that I shared, I want to know which of these strategies resonates with you the most. Because I know that one of them probably stands out the most as one of those things that you're like, yeah, that's a big one for me. I need to work on it. I mean, you can probably do all 4 and it would be super helpful. But even if you just had to pick one thing to really focus on right now, because of course I don't want to overwhelm you with like, hey, now you need to just uphold your whole entire life, change everything, don't do anything the same as you did, but pick one thing. Because if you pick one thing and you go and take action on it right now, it's going to start making a difference. And then you can start implementing the other things. Okay. So sometimes we also need that little extra support with helping us to start doing these things, learning how we can start prioritizing and shifting things around and creating a reset in our life. Just deciding, hey, right now, today, I am going to just completely reset and refocus and start making space for what matters most to me and bringing me joy. So having someone to guide you through and helping you to prioritize, finding those times when you can do the things that you love and the things that you're passionate about, and really even knowing what those things are. Maybe you have forgotten what brings you joy and what you're passionate about because you have been so caught up in doing everything for everybody else and just running through the motions of life that you forgot about it. So if you're ready to take back your time, your life, and start making room for what you love and what brings you joy, I want you to drop reset in the comments. Okay. Drop reset in the comments. And the reason why is because we need to make a note and we need to be aware of when it's time that we need to do a reset. We need to call it upon ourselves of, okay, it's time. It's time in my life that I am ready to do a reset. Because, you know what, taking back your time isn't about being perfect. Nothing is perfect in this world. So if you're striving for perfection, it's never going to happen. But it's about being intentional with what you're spending your time on, how you're spending your time, and making space for what brings you joy. Okay. So I want to know, drop a comment and let me know what's one thing you are going to do today to make space for what you love. Okay. Maybe it's actually doing something that you love, or maybe it's scheduling it in. Maybe it's setting some clear boundaries with people that you know and people that you love. Maybe it's simplifying things so that you can see where you can start shifting your schedule around. What is it? What is that one thing? Okay, so stay tuned. Next week, we are going to be talking about how to reset your focus and energy. So don't miss it. And again, if you're ready for a reset, drop the word reset in the comments. And I also want to know what you are going to do, the action step you are going to take based on what you learned today to start taking back your time. I'm so excited for you. I wish you a very happy Friday. Have an incredible rest of your day, an awesome weekend, and I will see you again next week on Rise and Thrive Live.